Good morning, YouTube. It is Sunday, July 12th, 2020, and I think I had committed myself to make a video every month about my progress with my stroke, and here I am just trying to fulfill that commitment I made to myself. As you can see, I'm walking, so doing a little bit of multitasking at the moment. Usually I go out in the morning and go for a walk, 2 miles, 3 or 4. And so today I'll probably just end up doing 2, maybe go a little bit further. But I'll make that decision in about 2 minutes here. So yesterday I was out and my face looks a little puffy. I was probably about 1 3/4 miles out, and I got attacked by a swarm of bees. I got stung somewhere around right here. Yeah, there's a little dot. I got stung right there. Probably got attacked by, I don't know, 5 or 6 bees. The first one was a total surprise. Went into my glasses and immediately stung me. So I swatted it off. And then I just had several that were just buzzing around my face and trying to crawl on my neck and sting me. And if they'd been successful, that would have been really bad news. But yeah, I ended up doing a little more cardio than I had signed up for yesterday, running away from the bees and trying to swat at them. I was on the phone with one of my good friends who was out driving from Idaho to Utah, and it was a little bit of a trip. So fortunately, I was able to get home, get the stinger out, put some essential oils on it, and although I do look a little weird, a little puffy, I guess I got the smile lines out of my face or whatever, so that's good. Anyway, this is just a quick video, hopefully update of what I have going on and what my progress is. Not that too many people care, I guess, but so today's the 12th, tomorrow's 2 months. I'll probably forget, but looking at it just from a 2 month out perspective, I'd say the healing process is going along quite nicely, and I'm very pleased, very appreciative and grateful for the results. And there's been a lot of sweat equity put into it. So just a recap, March 13th 2020, not March 13th, May 13th 2020, I had a stroke about 9:30 in the morning. The stroke led to a car accident. I was taken by ambulance to the hospital, and they were trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I guess I had a seizure. I literally don't remember any of this stuff. And then was taken by a helicopter, flown about 80-90 miles to a hospital, and taken care of there. So had a stroke on the 13th. I woke up sometime the afternoon of the 14th, laid in bed till, I don't know, I think the 19th, and then I got the boot. When I got out, I was very just tired all the time, I guess lethargic. I still wanted to be a mischievous pain in the butt, but I'd say that was my some of my stuff. My eyes were crossed, and my balance was absolutely terrible. So I remember when I first got home from the hospital, I tried to walk, maybe from the living room out to the car or something, and I would just constantly be pulling left. So I'd be walking out the door to my driveway and just be bumping into the wall of the house, kind of having to like braille drive or whatever, bounce off of it. And yeah, it was tough. So the stroke that I had was in my thalamus, and apparently that's what got affected. So in addition to the eyes just being jacked up, they were jacked up for a good 5 or 6 weeks before I really started to kind of get control of them again and to be able to see things, not cross-eyed, not double vision. Here comes a bus. So we're gonna cross the road. We just crossed the mile mark. Normally I would turn around, but I just want to hear myself talk. So for the balance stuff, it took a while, good 4 weeks maybe. You know, it would get better every day, but before I really felt confident in my ability, you know, good 3-4 weeks. And it took me about 6 weeks to be able to drive a car. I drove to the donut shop down the street from my house a couple weeks ago. It was weird, you know, and I think a lot of it just had to do with my eyes and the tracking of motion. Normally I have like I don't really know what it's called, but where like if I scan something or if I'm trying to watch something that's moving, my eyes almost ratchet. So I'll focus on it and it'll keep moving, and then my eyes will just kind of ratchet along with the motion. It's been like that for as long as I can remember. And it's really weird having had a stroke, having that condition, and then trying to be able to drive. So before I was able to just kind of focus on the windshield and just passively scan the periphery, and now it's like just this active, I feel like I'm 16 again, driving for the first time. So it's a little weird, but I get by. I'd say I'm pretty successful so far, no other accidents. The only thing that really seems to be dogging me is the fatigue. So when this first started happening, I was sleeping, I don't know, 14, 16, 18 hours a day. Now it's been walked back significantly, and I'd say I'm probably back to 8 to 10, maybe if I'm having a really bad day, like 12 hours, but I don't think it's been like that for a while. Was visiting with some family last week, and you know, as adults we would do a lot of activities and things like that, and I think really stuff that just kind of engages my brain a lot is what would beat me up a little bit and make me need to rest. So on June 30th I had an appointment with the neurologist at UCSD. Seems like a smart guy, and his advice was to just keep pushing. So push the boundaries, just try to you know, make sure that I'm tired at the end of the day. And I think throughout the recovery I've been doing that, especially with my eyes, just always trying to work them. And I'd say that's usually what feels the most tired at the end of the day, like a muscle that you're just constantly working out. It's really hard to describe, but like if you were to cross your eyes and hold your eyes crossed for as long as you can before it gives up, then when it goes back to normal and they're tracking, your eye might feel a little sore, like the muscles surrounding them. It's exactly what I'm going through. So it's something where if I feel those muscles engaging, I'll try to do more of that. So you know, things like driving, although difficult, it's good rehab. Like just relaxing my eyes, and like, I don't know, just sometimes when you're sitting on the couch and you just veg out and your eyes just relax, doing that but looking down. And it's kind of a weird thing. When I woke up in the hospital after having the stroke, my eyes were paralyzed, and so it's just part of that process, I think, to kind of rebuild the strength and kind of relearn how to do those things. So for me right now, the most intensive thing is to kind of like look down. So like right now I'm looking down at the road I'm walking on, and it's a little weird. The eyes, they kind of get double vision ish. I think what ends up happening is the eyes actually track, because I can see fine, but it's just a strain on the muscle. So practice that a couple hours a day, just looking down, trying to strengthen those eye muscles, get myself back up to speed. I will be looking at going back to work probably on the 15th of July, so 2 months and 2 days after the stroke, and see what happens. So hopefully I have enough energy to make it through without being a total load. I think that's my biggest fear right now. And you know, I think the heat, right now it's the summer, it's 7:07 in the morning. It's got to be 100 degrees already. So I live in the desert. The heat is a killer, and it really takes a lot out of me. So I'm literally fresh out of bed. Woke up, went to the bathroom, drank a quart of water, immediately hit the road, and yeah, I'll be hurting by the time I get home. So I'm gonna end up doing 4 miles today, probably, maybe 3. We'll see how quickly I can end this video. But you know, I am still extremely grateful for the outpouring support that I've received. It's awesome just to know the people who are looking out for me and care about my well-being, and yeah, it's about it. So I've received a ton of support, a ton of help, a ton of encouragement. Most days I have text messages from people telling me to just keep on rocking out, and I think for the most part I have done that. And you know, these activities that I used to be able to do before the stroke that are difficult, I'm trying to get back into the swing to where I'm able to perform them as I used to. So I know there are going to be some things that I just can't. I can feel it. I can feel a change in my body that seems like it's permanently altered, but just gotta find those new limits and keep on going. A year and a half ago, I was about 30 pounds heavier. I was a big fat sack of crap, and there are a lot of things I can do now that I couldn't back then. So, i.e. going on a 3-mile walk at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I know that there's change to be made. I know that there's progress to be made, and I'll just keep trying. One of the things that came out from the neurological appointment was my heart. So I don't remember what the acronym is, but I have a hole in between the chambers of my heart, PCT or something like that. I just made that up. So there's nothing that the doctors can point to that says this is the reason why that stroke happened. I may have mentioned this before. One of my really good friends, her dad had a stroke a couple weeks from retirement, and all of a sudden he's in the hospital. He's got lung cancer, he's got brain cancer, he's all effed up. I think he lived a couple more months, but the stroke was just a symptom of all the other things wrong with his body. Doctors can't find that with me. So as far as I know, and as far as the doctors know, I'm cancer free. What they did find was a hole between the chambers of my heart, and that is probably going to end up getting fixed. It sounds very scary. First of all, just in my research, the limited research I found, probably about 1/3 of people have it. So it's not like, you know, it's not like I'm special. The doctor surmised that I had a blood clot in my leg. Somehow, when I was ramping up for my early morning activities, the blood clot got dislodged, went up into my heart, went through the hole in the heart, and went up to my brain and caused a stroke. So risk of that occurring again, I think, is pretty low. Especially, I'm just taking aspirin. I'm not really taking any blood thinners. So, you know, out here walking and stuff like that, all that risk is pretty low. I was, 40 years old before that happened the first time. Second time, doesn't seem very likely. So we are still going to pursue, I'm going to a cardiologist to pursue getting the hole closed up. And as crazy as it sounds, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos with new medical devices that allow them to either stitch it closed or close it up, and then the heart will actually heal and heal around the stitch or heal around the device, and it's like the hole wasn't there. So very encouraging in my opinion. Still a little, a little scary, I suppose, but they go up in through your leg. It's not, the 1970s where they're just cutting everything open and you have that stuff to worry about. So I judging by the information I get, of course, on YouTube and the interwebs, it looks like something where you go in, you get it done, you're down for a week or two, and then, oh crap. Oh, okay, I thought it was bees. It's just the cracking electricity from the power lines above my head. So, a couple weeks later, you're back in the mix, you're good to go, and then you just get stronger and stronger. So I'm thinking that once it's all done and I'm all healed up, I'll be better than ever before. That's my assumption, and that's what I'm expecting. I'm just going to keep trying, keep on keeping on, and try to stay encouraged, try to just keep pushing my boundaries. I think that's about it. We'll probably revisit in a month, and I'll give you whatever updates I have at that time. So I hope this was worth it. Hope it's not too annoying with me walking or dragging on for 17 and a half minutes, but I do tend to be a little wordy. So thank you very much for your time. I'll be seeing you.